Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways actual play team. This actual play uses the Delta Green tabletop role-playing game rules by Arc Dream Publishing. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Listeners should know that this podcast will include mature themes and scenes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, military organizations, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living, dead, or redacted, is completely coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your handler. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. This evening, I'm your handler, Michael Diamond, and we are back with our Delta Green O-Cell operations, this one entitled From the Dust. And we have an awful lot to get to tonight, but before we do, we'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter. If you've not had a chance to check out what we offer on Patreon, you can at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. Jump over to YouTube and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. We'd greatly appreciate it. Just fire our name into YouTube, The Old Ways Podcast, click subscribe, and you might even get to see some more videos with these wonderful folks from Delta Green. And now, we'll get to introductions, which begin to my right.
Hey, this is Miranda, and I play Dr. Aaron Weber. And I don't know if I'm more concerned about my potentially torn ACL or the rampant rabies that are in this room right now.
Oh, yeah. I think each are equally concerning. But the way the blood sort of glistens on Agent Hart's teeth, it's pretty concerning. To Dr. Weber's right.
Hi, I'm your friend Nate. I'm playing Elliot Winters. I've got a 2-year-old Sandra Cohen in my arms, missing since May 4th. Trying to keep her away from a pack of terrible beasts, and I'm near death. It's going to be a good night.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing how special you are, Special Agent Winters. At the end of the table.
Hi, this is Allie, and I play Special Agent Joanne Hart, and I definitely have my entire face covered in blood, and, well, they started it.
Indeed, but your mighty jaws finished it. In more than one way. And last but most certainly not least.
Hi, my name is Tegan Gilbert, and I'm playing Brett Youngbuck Hawking, and I am here to finish the job.
Yeah, you got up to a little finishing when it came to the last episode, helping the rest of your operational team survive. And from what it looks like, Agent Winters took the brunt of whatever they were dishing out. Maybe I'll have to find a way to tape him up a little bit before you keep going. And so, we'll raise the curtain tonight in the same dingy, dark, underground tunnel that we left our agents in last time. After several different firearms rounds have been shot off, the best our agents could muster in hand-to-hand combat, the enemies that attacked them, these strange, furry creatures with human faces, lay still. The hallway fills with the scent of copper and what smells a little like rotted meat. There's a 2-year-old crying, wailing desperately into the night. She is spattered with blood. Whose blood? It's no idea. And there is a low, breathing growl in the room. Just at the sort of bottom end of your perceptions, this heavy, growling breathing is coming from the slight form of Joanne Hart.
Are you... okay, calm down, Hart. Okay, it's gonna be okay. They have shots for it. It's okay. Hawking, can you move me closer to Hart so I can examine? I'm like pulling myself up on to use Brett as a crutch so that I can get over to Hart to try to, I don't know, assess some you shouldn't, it's raw and you're biting it and, it's bad. There's so many, it's not even the rabies, these got parasites.
Yeah, I'm going to move them closer.
I want to get close enough to get a good, like, lay my eyes on Hart a little bit better to see, could give her look her over. I'm sure she's cover face full of blood dripping down her chin.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's as It's as bad as a horror movie, to be perfectly honest. It is like all those movies that you see where the nasty werewolf bites somebody and you can see the glistening blood and the teeth. And then there's little bits of fur in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And she has not sort of come back to center yet. She's still a little wild-eyed, still a little searching around. She's also twitchy. So when you move a little closer and you sort of stumble forward to try to get closer, she twitches reflexively.
Yeah. Hey, Joey, it's gonna be okay, Heart. Everything's okay here. Let me out, and I like look to see if did I shove any water into this bag so she can rinse her mouth out, and also to see if she's afraid of it. Could I have brought some water, Mike?
I'm going to flip this coin.
Okay.
And you can call heads or tails.
Okay.
And we'll see if you've got water with you.
I'm a tails girl.
You're a tails girl? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is tails.
Oh, okay. Here, Heart, just rinse it out of your teeth. Rinse it out of your teeth. And I'm going to approach real slow like you do a scared animal. And I'm going to kind of hold up the water so she sees the water. I don't have a weapon. It's water. And you just rinse your mouth out. I don't want you to get sicker. You got some fur in there. It's okay. It's just water.
Okay, fair enough. Agent Hart, you're within your faculties to do as you so choose. You're just sort of coming down from what we in the business would call a combat high.
So I'm not afraid of the water.
No, you're not. And to be clear, for those of our scientific community who might be listening, fear of water via rabies is an advanced form of rabies. And so she would never have been able to contract it that fast.
But I'm a doctor of chemistry, so I'm just, going on whatever I can.
Yeah, plus you're a mom as well, so the innate fear and the jump to the worst possible conclusion is right in the back of your head.
Yep.
So I'll take the water and just kind of half acknowledging Dr. Weber directly. And it's like, okay. And I'll rinse my mouth off and kind of wipe some of the blood off and just kind of, oh, right, this is what I did.
So the worst part of rinsing your mouth out is that you come to then realize the immediacy of how much blood is in the back of your mouth because you bit down. And so you get this clot of blood that's back there and it comes out and it's chunky.
Oh, I don't like that. I'll probably gag a little as I'm like getting that part out of my throat and mouth.
You did good, Heart. You did real good. Winters, can you calm that kid down or something? We got one. We get out of here now with the one, right?
I'm trying to calm Sandra down. Sandra, it's Sandra, right? Hey, Sandra, it's all right. We're here. We got you, girl.
If you've ever seen a kid in a flop panic, a 2-year-old throwing not a tantrum, but a real fear-inducing situation, she is right there with you. Her dial is cranked up all the way to 11. To get her, with your soothing words, to get her in any sort of shape or form where she can actually talk to you, or at least stop screaming, you're going to have to persuade her to do so.
Well, I got a kid. My Ellie was 2 years old at one point, and I got to persuade a 70, so I will do both those things.
You do have choices, just so you're aware, Elliot. You can use Humint, you can use Persuade, or Psychotherapy, dependent upon, is sort of a dealer's choice of whatever you'd like.
I think I'm going to fall into my father role, so I think I'm going to do Persuade.
All right.
Sandra, please, you got to be careful. You got to be quiet right now. We got to get you out of here. Maybe I'll start humming a little nursery rhyme, and I will roll Persuade. That's a 48 under 70.
It's a fair roll. It takes you a solid 2 minutes of talking to her, and you sort of walk down the ladder of agitation and fear, and she does the thing where she cries, she slows down, and you see her sort of mumble or trip over her words when she tries to talk. It's just she sort of blubbers a little bit, and then she eventually stops crying and is just very lightly making sounds. She's vocalizing.
I'm going to assume shock's going to sit in or whatever. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is August right now?
Yeah, it's August.
And I think this kid went missing in May. So while I'm also trying to do a little bit of calm down and get her to be quieter, I'm also going to do just an examination. She should, she'd be dead out of dehydration or whatever if she hadn't been eating, drinking, there's some sort of something going on, or unless time is different. So I'm taking a look and just seeing her general medical condition.
Okay. In general, she appears to be in relatively good health. Her bones and, body do not seem anyway to be hazarded by months of dehydration or malnourishment. So then one of two things is true, likely in your mind. One, it is possible that she was able to somehow find food and water, or someone kept her within, reasonable eating guidelines. Or this place is not the same. This place is more like the night floors in that time doesn't pass the same way.
Hawk and Weber Hart, the kid's calm, but this is not a kid that's been on her own for 3 months. So either someone's been feeding and getting her some to drink, she's been finding it, or this place doesn't operate the same way, if you catch my drift.
No, I get you on that. But once we get out of here, we got to think about how we're gonna get this kid back to their parents without drawing attention.
I agree. Not to put myself first, but what do you think about trying to get out right now? Because I'm hurting.
Yeah, we need to.
Well, that sounds pretty fucking good because I don't want to be gone for weeks or whatever. The last time my ex-husband almost, I don't know, he wanted to keep my kid. We gotta, if time's different here, like it is on the night floors, we can't stay here for long. We have to get out.
Hart, your tummy all right? Can you help us figure out how to get back? You got back once before. You got any tricks?
Then I'm gonna swish my mouth out again just because I'm still trying to get rid of this fucking taste. Just wherever we all kind of landed individually, maybe we can make it back to one of those areas as a group, because the symbols that were on the board were on the wall before, and that's how I got out previously. Was just going back the way that I came.
Do we have to hold on to each other's pockets again?
Maybe. There's no guarantee that'll keep us together once we get to the portal, though. We saw what happened with the rope, so.
Yeah, and there's no doors here.
I am trying to secure this kid on my person so I have both hands free. So I figure maybe I stuff her in my jacket and zip it up and maybe use one of them ropes to, I don't know. I just need to have both my hands free. I'm like, Sandra, and we can't, she's not going to be riding on my shoulders or any of that nonsense either in this place. So.
You can try to package her up. The one thing I will say, Elliot, that you're well aware of is you are not in a healthy state right now. How many hit points are you down at this point?
I am at 3 of, what did I start with? 11.
Yeah. You're not doing well. And you're not doing well. And at 3 hit points, your fellow agents don't even have to make a first aid roll to know that you're not doing well.
So I start to package her up because my intent is to carry her, and then I sway a little bit. I lean up against the wall. I'm not going to be able to carry this kid. I'm sorry.
I look at Hart and I go, Hawking, you gotta take that kid from him.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go ahead and sweep that kid up.
And similar to them packing up a child, I want to grab one of these raccoons and pack that up to take it back with us. 1 for rabies, but 2, look, these things have human faces. I'm just saying I want to get one of them out of here if we can, because it might help us figure out what's going on.
Don't leave without one of those raccoons.
I'm just saying, might be a clue.
It could be. Okay. So, Hawking, you sweep up the kid. You're in a little bit better of a state. And with Weber's injury and Winter's injuries, the four of you are not going to be able to make anything more than really a walking pace going anywhere, not without serious complications. Walking out of this tunnel back into the hall probably takes a steady amount of work. But once you do so, the hall is the same as it was before. It's a vast space. There's a complete boneyard here, as was previously mentioned, and it feels like the spaces beyond your flashlights are watching you move. I'd like my agents to roll. Go ahead and make me an alertness roll.
So far, so bad.
I also failed.
09 under 40, so I pass.
Mm-hmm.
I have rolled an 86.
Okay. So unless your alertness is way higher than that, then Agent Hart, you're the only person that hears this. You hear two things. You hear what sounds like metal on metal, like someone running their hands along a chain link fence. And you hear what sounds like a soft crying sound from somewhere here in the hall. It's definitely a young child.
Did any of you hear that?
No, I didn't hear nothing. What'd you hear?
Hear what?
I heard another kid. Like, I could hear it from the hallway from here. It sounds like there's a chain link fence, maybe? Something like that nearby? I'm not sure exactly from where, though.
I flash my flashlight around. See if there's anything to see.
Okay. You flash the light around a little bit. Something scurries out as you scan left, just out of the range of the flashlight.
I don't see anything here. And no one else heard this?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Was this sound pretty faint?
It's reasonably faint. It was.
Could be a kid, could be a trick.
It could be a trick. You're not wrong.
They done that to us before. And they did that to you specifically before.
Yeah. And we're not in good shape. We should at least get her out of here. There's no reason for all of us to disappear.
Look, Agent, did you get a sense of what direction it was in?
You have a reasonable sense of which direction it's in. It's across the hall.
Here, take this. I'll hand her my knife. Just scratch into the floor the direction. I have a feeling we have to be back anyway.
Yeah. We're gonna find the others. So I'll take the knife and scratch an arrow pointing in the general direction, and I'm gonna shine my flashlight up as after I do that too. Because I'm scratching it into the ground.
Well, first you're digging through the bones to get to the ground.
No, I forgot about that.
Yes. Those bones being shin deep, most of which, of course, are younger bones of mammals. You'll have to dig through them to get to it. And it's really during this digging to scratch the ground that all of you would notice on the other side of the hall a part of the bone pile shift. And you can all start to hear a soft crying sound.
I think it's over here.
I think Weber would rush as much as Weber can rush, but Weber's also down a leg. It's a rough rush to kind of clear stuff away and see if I can follow the noise.
Normally, her dexterity is 10. She's got a slight penalty at this point given the wound and her previous fumble. So you hobble yourself over there, like a horse with a bad leg. You trip a few times, mostly on bones. And as you gather closer to the space, I'll just ask, are any of the other agents coming with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Hart, you accompany Weber, probably helping Dr. Weber over because of her bad leg. It's really a bad knee, actually, but neither here or there. There is a depression, sort of a ravine forming in this bone pile. And as you get closer to it, there's a tiny little light that is emanating from the bottom of this ravine space. And the crying sound is definitely getting louder as you approach. And now, Weber, you're starting to hear that sound of metal on metal.
I mean, Weber would continue to, pursue this as quick as she could. I want to get in and get out, but it would feel wrong to leave whatever this is.
So you get to the space where the bones are seeming to, I guess, sink closer to the ground. Sink is a good word for it. And there, deeper in, you get a look at what that light shows. There's a light somewhere down at the bottom of this pile of bones. And it illuminates a form, maybe 10 or so feet down, give or take, that is wrapped in chains. It's a little sort of papoose form. It can't be any longer than maybe a couple of feet. And that's where this sound is coming from. And you see just the slightest bit of dark brown skin of a child's forehead.
Am I able to get in, grab them?
It's a little far down.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 10 feet or so from you at this point, if you're near the top of the pile. So you would have to find a way to get down to it.
Yeah.
Which would either be, it could be a couple of ways.
Yeah, Hawkins got a kid. Hart, help me get down here. Hart, I think the kid's over here. Hart.
Yeah, hold on. And I'll walk over and see if there's an easy way for either of us to maneuver down into the pit. Like if there's a place that I could anchor something or myself onto.
It's like 10 feet. You have 2 good legs. I'll lay it. I'll just kind of lower you down. You're fine.
I hand you one end of my friendship rope.
And then they're across the hall at this point, Elliot, just so you're aware. They had to go to this spot. It's nowhere near where you guys were standing.
I'm not going to let them stay too far away, by the way. I'm not letting people drift off. I'm going to stand with the baby in the epicenter of the triangulation of these 3 people.
Okay. You do remember me asking if anybody else is going with?
I did, and someone said yes, and then you quickly moved on, and I was like, well, put me too.
That's fine. You're in this. You center yourself as best you can.
I'll draw my gun and I'll start walking towards them.
Okay. You draw your gun. Slowly start walking towards you.
I mean, if Hart's gonna start digging into Weber, I'm gonna shoot.
Oh, thank you.
So, I guess the best way for me to explain it to Agent Hart and Agent Weber, do you know what it's like to be on the edge of a ball pit?
Yeah.
You can stand near the edge, and you probably could have Dr. Weber hang on to your feet as you reach yourself down, but you're not 10 feet tall, and neither is she.
No, I meant, what I meant is I hold her hands, she goes down, and then I let go. And then we figure out the rest of the plan after that, maybe that friendship rope thing, or a big bone that she can grab onto, or we take our clothes off and make a rope or something. But immediate thought was I just drop her down there. Because, okay, it's like my arm's like 2 feet, and then Hart's body's, I don't know, average or more or less than average. And so that's 2 feet plus 5, that's like 7 feet. That's like 3 foot drop. That's doable.
And then I just drop a few feet.
I think it's a splendid idea for the 2 of you to work out. So I guess what I'll ask is to allow this farce to continue, I will ask for athletics rolls.
Oh, good.
Because I'm sure that you're both just tip-top athletes.
My character, much like me, was on the JV tennis team in high school.
Got it.
that is reflected in the rest of their lives.
Okay, fair enough.
It's 28 under 30.
Well, that's very good. That's an excellent roll. Agent Hart.
Much better than what I rolled at a 74 over 30. So,
Okay, so Dr. Weber was helping you down. So she continues to hang on to you. You, however, as you are descending into this, we'll say crevasse of bones, you begin to get a little squirrely because all these bones begin piling up on you. So as you're going deeper in, the bones are sort of backfilling on top of you, and you get their willies because really what you feel is you're being hugged by a bunch of bones. And you keep remembering that these bones are very, very small and they're not very big. And the crying picks up, and you can tell that your blood pressure is going back up because the crying is pushing your blood pressure up, and the bones are all around you, and you sort of swim a little in a different direction because you're beginning to freak out now. Ellie, this is what you're walking up on, in effect. You get what the aim is. At least you think you do.
I'm in no position to intervene or intrude, but I will be close by with my gun out, looking around, watching for threats, and if there seems to be a way I can help, I will certainly help. But otherwise, I'll make encouraging noises, and I will continue to push my spleen back into my midsection.
Yes, you're wishing you had some more duct tape at this point. So the three of you have moved relatively closer to the ball pit, and it's at this point, after Elliot is preparing his friendship rope, and Brett, you're back with Sandra Cohen trying to keep the child relatively calm. You hear in your ear someone say, "Do you think they'll get the kid?"
I hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Eyes up, someone's here.
I spin around with my gun in hand, off to just to the right of Agent Hawking.
I just heard voices. I don't know where from. Inside note, Brett wonders if they were all just in his head.
Hawking, you hear, "Of course it's not just in your head."
Wait, was that a response I believe I heard in my ears to a vocalization I made inside of my head?
That's correct. Roll sand.
Okay. These are some good dice. Yeah, 21.
Okay.
That's definitely under 67.
So you don't lose any sanity in this regard. You simply are burdened with the idea that you formed a thought in your own head, unbeknownst to anyone around you, never vocalized it, and someone in your head answered you.
I'm going to deal with that, and then I'm going to say, never mind. I guess never mind.
Elliot, you wheel with your pistol and with the light, and there's nobody beside Hawking. There's nobody around Hawking. You're not far. You're at most 10, maybe 12 meters.
Hawking, there ain't no one there. You're clear. There's no contact. It's more tricks. Brett. Don't.
Better safe than sorry. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
So you know I never wished the child any harm. You hear that follow up? We all work for somebody.
I wanted to stop talking. I have to live with that in my mind, and I know I can't tell other people what I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm just gonna live with it for the moment in my mind.
Can I, if I'm looking at you, Brett, do I see any of this internal argument, do you think, going on? Are you stone face?
No. I think you see me a normal amount of scared, or, an abnormal amount of scared for every day, normal amount of scared for being in the bone pit.
Brett. I'm telling you, there ain't no one there. Hold it. You got that kid. You got to keep that kid together. We have to keep it together up here while the ladies are dealing with the bonier pit. It's we both got jobs. You got this, Brett.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to wipe the sweat that off my brow that does not match the current temperature inside these caves.
That's pretty fitting. Okay. Agent Hart, you struggle with these bones to the point where, Dr. Weber, you realize that she's sort of veering off course now. And wow, there's a lot of bones around here. And they're sinking in behind her.
Hart, it's gonna be Hart. Just eye contact with me. Don't worry about the bones. I'm gonna lower you down. Don't worry. Don't touch the bones. Don't think about the bones. They're not bones. They're branches or vines or something. And you're just climbing down a hole to get just think about the baby. Think about the baby at the bottom of the hole that's not made of bones. It's gonna be okay. Just calm down. Calm down. It's gonna be fine. Just look at me. Make eye contact with me, and I'll get you close to where you need to land.
Then I will just do my best to at least like half maintain eye contact and try not to swim further off course in this sea of bones that are trying to suffocate me while I'm trying to reach this cave.
So you get down far enough that you begin to see the space underneath here. And you've lived in spots, Agent Hart, where sinkholes are a thing. And you see a little bell shape of a cavern underneath here. You get deep enough in the bones finally where there's a spot. You see the kid, you see the shape of this thing in chains, and you see that it's been put into a pit. And there's just supposed to be so many bones over top that they've sort of clogged the entranceway. And the light that is down here is coming from multiple torches that have been lit.
So if I'm envisioning what you're saying correctly, there's like a secondary pit that the thing is in?
Yeah, it's like it's a depression inside the bottom, like underneath the floor level of where these bones are. There's a little pit. And that pit had some branches that are, sort of creating a bit of firelight. And in the center of it, there's a form wrapped in what looks like chains from other old chains. And that form is slowly and steadily crying. The issue you're going to have is the difference in height. And so at some point, Weber, your leverage is going to get lost. Even if you lay down at the edge of the bone pit to give Hart the most reach possible, the two of you will not have enough length to get where you need to go.
Oh, that's why I was just gonna let her go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you reach the end, Hart, of Weber's arm length.
And then I lower, just let go, assuming there's not going to be too much space. I would maybe count down with Hart, okay, Hart, this is all I got for you. So I'm going to let go. We're going to let go on 3.
Yep. 1, 2,
3, and then let go.
Okay. So that'll be an athletics roll from you, Agent Hart.
Because I gotta land, right?
Well, you're going to land one way or the other.
I mean, it's gonna be fine, right? It's only a 44 over 30.
Said 44 over 30. Okay, so that's a critical failure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll this, and it's a gift, and I'm going to hand you 3 damage.
Oh, good. Because that's a great gift. I appreciate that gift a lot.
Yes, happy holidays. You land hard on this floor in front of a bundle of chains that cries. All around this bundle are little tiny indents in the ground here. No bigger than your pinky finger. Little indents. Your vision clears enough after the stars that you saw after falling that you realize the little indents are teeth that have been made and created into a little circle around this bundle.
Sure. That sounds swell. So, am I close to the bundle now at this point?
You are?
Okay, I want to unwrap the bundle.
The bundle's locked.
God fucking damn it.
These chains are wrapped around this bundle. They have a lock on them. When you get to the chains and you try to figure out a way to unravel them or unwrap them, the package begins to cry even more.
And I'll notice that there's, this lock on it, and I'll, shout back up the pit, "There's a lock on it."
Okay, well, just bring it all up. Winters, wait, hold on. We can throw down Winter's friendship rope, and then you tie it to that, and then we'll pull it up. And then we'll tie the rope to you, and then we'll pull you up too.
Yeah, damn sight better than tossing that thing like a football. I'll hand Weber the rope.
You hand Weber the rope. Hawking in your ear, you hear, "You're not going to get out of here without talking to her. That's just the way these things go."
I'm gonna mumble out loud, "Talk to who?"
Play us the song. She loves music. Winters, Weber, and Hart get Weber the rope, and you start manually feeding this rope down to Agent Hart. There's the friendship rope.
So I guess I'm gonna start looping the rope down, like, through the chains directly next to the form if I can. Like, if they're loose enough to kind of thread it into it.
Yeah, they're loose enough to do that.
Okay. So then I'm gonna do that. I don't know, I guess, how much rope do I have to do this with? Like, can I go down and then back up at least once, if not twice? Kind of give it, like, a pretty good anchor point to be able to, like, be lifted out?
I'll say you can probably do it twice.
Okay.
You get it knotted up, and you think for the most part it should stay where it's at.
Okay. I think I've done all I can. Try to lift it out.
Okay, Winters, grab onto this with me, and I'll try to lift it out, assuming with Winters' assistance.
I'm going to be behind Weber, and I will be pulling and picking up slack as she is pulling. So there's two points to stop that rope if it suddenly slips.
So for the both of you, that is a strength times 5 roll.
86 over 30.
92 over 50. Appropriately enough.
Yeah, this is way heavier than you thought. For you, Hart, the package doesn't rise more than a few inches off the ground. And you can hear them, like, exerting themselves up there.
Can I also roll strength to see if I can lift it to maybe give them another chance?
I would say if we were heaving too and it wasn't moving, I would call Hawking. Okay, Winters and I, we need a little help here. If you can grab it with the kid on you, it's pretty heavy.
I've got a kid in my arms.
I know, but there might be another one at the end of this rope.
And it's a heavy kid.
That's a heavy kid? Jesus Christ, we have to set the fucking baby down.
No, bring the baby. Just bring one of those damn arms over here. Come on. We're dying.
Have you held a 2-year-old, like, in your arms?
Yes.
Like, it takes 2 arms. It takes 2 arms. Okay, I'll set the kid down. I'm not moving far.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna grab the rope while maintaining eye contact with the kid.
Okay. You hustle over a little further, maintaining eye contact with the kid, and grab onto the rope. I'm happy to give you a strength roll, Agent Hawking. We will assume that Agent Hart is helping pick up from the bottom.
Strength, my least cool stat. It is the same as my intelligence, which is mid. All right. Strength times 5, right?
Yes. Yep. Strength times 5.
All right. I have rolled a 20 under 50.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. So you heave. And as soon as, for you, Agent Winters, for you, Dr. Weber, as soon as Brett gets there and pulls on this rope, this thing starts coming up.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, All right. Well, like I said, we'll get him up and then we'll get you up, Hart. As soon as we get it up, I'm like pulling on the chains and.
Okay. The chains are securely fixed around this bundle, and the bundle is crying. It is crying much like Cohen was crying during right after the combat. Unconsolable weeping.
Mm-hmm. Weber, we're gonna have to cut that off. We can't get that here. Unless you happen to see a key in the 3,000 square feet of bones that are covering this hall. Jesus, we gotta get Hart up. Hart, you ready?
Yeah, give me just 1 second. So can I kind of just like quickly feel around down where like these teeth and stuff are to see if there's like a key?
Oh, sure. You want to go dig in through the teeth?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm totally all for you staying down there a little longer if that's what you'd really like. So that's a search roll.
Okay.
It's only slightly above your search of 40. So
Well, I got a 13 under 40.
you dig through the dirt and the hard packed material that's here. Now you dig up more than probably 6 to 8 different teeth. All the teeth are baby teeth. At the center of this circle, there's a very tiny key that on the end of it, there is a heart. Almost like one of those keys that unlocks a secretary desk or like a old-timey cupboard.
Okay,
It even looks rusted.
perfect. I'm gonna slide that in my pocket. All right, I'm ready to go.
All right. Okay. Toss the rope. Undo the rope from the thing. Toss it back down to Hart. Assuming Hart, just tie it around your waist, and you can help us. I mean, we'll help you climb out. You're gonna have to do some work here too.
Absolutely.
Just maybe put a loop and go under your arms.
I will securely wrap the rope around me so that way I'm hanging on, even if for some reason the part that's around my waist isn't the most secure. I'm going to be hanging on with both hands.
Okay, makes good sense. Are you staying over there, Hawking, or are you going back over to where Cohen is?
Oh yeah, I'm immediately going back over to Cohen, and I'm just gonna try to soothe the kid. I guess I'm just gonna try to hum a tune or mouth a tune. So I'm just gonna do 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 do.
Okay, so you start humming, and the kid starts crying.
Oh, fantastic! Good.
The kid starts screaming for a kitty. She wants her kitty.
We'll get you a cat. We'll get you a kitty.
The kid does one of these things that I suppose that as a parent you may or may not have experienced yet, Brett, given your own child. Sandra stretches all of her limbs at the same time, all of them, and sort of arches her back backward and points over to where there is a large chair just beyond the dark spots here, and says, "Kitty!"
Really? Like there's a kitty here. Hey, the kid seems to think there's a cat. There's an animal down here and over there.
Well, there's a whole mess of animals down here, Hawken. What do you think that kid's talking about?
Yeah, but it seems to be motioning in a general direction in which there is an animal, and I've got a kid in one arm and I've got a gun in the other. And if there's an animal, that kid is gonna be deaf because that is a loud gun I've got. This is an unfortunate situation.
We will apologize to good Sandra for her tinnitus later. Let's get Hart out of this goddamn hall, and let's get us out of this goddamn hall. Yeah, I said it, Weber.
It's not going to work, you hear Agent Hawking. But you're free to try.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that.
I guess the question is to you, Agent Hawking, are you going where Sandra Cohen is insisting that you go, or are you going along with your fellow agents to try to find a way out of the hall and then us out of this place?
Oh, am I going to go into the dark where a 2-year-old has indicated there is a kitty? Or am I going to go with the other 3 adult human beings towards what we hope is safety, but at the very minimum is company? I'm not going to turn my back to the subjective cat object, but I am going to proceed with the rest of the group.
Okay.
The voices in my head have not convinced me that it's good to split the party yet.
Yeah, because the Cohen child continues to cry. I want to know for Hart and Weber and Winters, what are y'all doing about those chains?
Did we get Hart up yet?
Yeah, she's come back up.
Okay. I say fuck the chains. We just carry the thing till we get out. Unless, Hart, did you find a key or something down there?
I found a key. I don't know if it's the exact one we need, though. And I'll pull it out of my pocket and shove it in, I guess.
Well, shove it in.
So the saying goes, you insert the key into the lock, you turn it left, and there's a little bit of a squeaky sound. It looks like this lock maybe has not been used in a while, and so it's going to take a little action to get it to finally work right. But in doing so, you do click heavy with that locking mechanism, and the lock seems to ease a little bit.
Well, I'm going to jiggle the shit out of the lock to see if I can't, wrench it open.
Right. Yeah, you have to move it back and forth pretty voraciously to get it to open, but it does finally open for you. And the chains can now be removed.
All right, I'm going to start unwrapping this bundle of crying form.
I'm pointing my gun straight at that bundle.
Okay.
Until I can see what's inside.
You unwrap the chains. As they come apart, the bundle seems to get smaller. With the chains completely removed, you see that there is a wrapped up young African-American child that is crying. It looks maybe dehydrated. And with your still blood-stained hands, you're trying to make sure that the child is okay. It doesn't appear to be damaged or wounded or bleeding or anything like that. It doesn't look like it's been hurt. But it is completely terrified.
When I have it fully unwrapped, I'm going to pick it up and cradle it in my arms. Just hold on to it. Don't worry. We got you too.
Okay. This does appear to match the picture of Franklin, missing for quite a bit now. And so there does appear to be 2 children that you've collected.
Let's get out of here.
Let's try. Let's go back the way we came in.
You head back. There's a little antechamber that everyone here knows where it's at now. You exit that, and there are 2 hallways, one left, one right, to pick from. It's pretty easy to get turned around in here, and so it becomes sort of a choice, left or right.
Well, I had scratched in every single turn, so I'm going to be looking for those scratches.
You find one.
And see, I've seen that movie too, so I'm going to go look at the other tunnels and make sure I don't find them there too.
You have seen that movie. You go to the other tunnels. You don't see any scratch marks on this tunnel.
I'm sort of surprised, y'all. These raccoons didn't mess up our trail of breadcrumbs yet. So, Hart, we want to go back to where we came through, like one of the places we came through.
Yeah.
All right, and try and backtrace our trail.
You begin to trace your way back. Minutes pass. You hustle down different corridors. You loop your way through different spaces. You come across different etchings that you've done, Elliot. It doesn't really take you too long, probably 10 or 15 minutes, to get back to a spot where the ground, that rough ground, leads to what looks like sturdy made brick. And you get into one of these T-junctions, and I'm going to have all of you make an int ×5 roll.
That is a pass for me.
9 under 50.
It's a pass for me.
Seeing as that my luck check and my intelligence check are the same 50%, I rolled an 85.
Okay. You're not convinced, Brett. You get to a spot on the floor here and you're just simply not convinced that this is the right way. In fact, the worst part for you is that as you hang on to Sandra, is that you're fairly convinced that you've been tricked, that whatever's down here has already tricked all of you, and this isn't the way out.
But if you're silent to it, it's just fine, so we can just keep going, I guess.
Like, is this a compulsion?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a 100%. It's a don't put your hand on the hot stove compulsion.
Okay, well then we're not going this way. Absolutely not. Obviously it was the other tunnel. This is too regular. This is not how we came in. We didn't come in this way. We didn't come in through like some key door brick place.
Well, Hawken, I recognize this floor, and you saw the markings that we followed. You might have came in different. We all came in different, but I recognize this. I definitely came in here. You saw the markings I put up on the wall. What's going on?
I mean, it's how you came in, but that doesn't mean that's not how we. I wasn't there.
That's true. That's true. But I'm telling you, unless you have a way to get back to where you started this whole endeavor, I'm telling you, this leads back to where I came in. It also, I think, leads back to where Weber came in, because Weber was just off a different passage on the way.
Yeah, Winters found me, and he's putting all the marks in the. This is it.
Yeah, you and Hart did come different direction. I have no idea.
No, and I found the two of you a little while after you guys had been together, so.
That's right. You were in that same place too, yes.
Yeah.
Hawking, you're exactly right. You came in a different place, but this is where the three of us showed up.
I can't like physically remove them from the area.
Yeah, it's for you, Hawking, it's a compulsion. It's a fear of feeling like you're going the wrong way. It's like fucking shopping at a shopping center or being at a massive mega mall where you walk outside and you're just absolutely sure you're in the wrong parking lot. And the kid screaming like in your arms doesn't help either.
But I'm the only one having the compulsion?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what I can do about that then. If everybody else is convinced, then...
We have to keep moving, Brett. Come on. What makes you think it's not this way?
This just isn't the way that I came in.
Okay. Hear me out. Hart's the only one that's gotten in and gotten out. So it feels like we have to defer to Hart because Hart's the only one that knows. Hart's the only one that's been in and out, Brett.
Can I try to go through still? Can I push back against this compulsion, or?
Yeah, you're not completely mind controlled by any means. You can go along with them if that's what you're willing to do, but it won't change the fact that in your mind you're going the wrong way.
Yeah, it's just not like not what I remember.
Right.
This isn't the way we're supposed to go. It's like things are different.
Well, and they probably are for you. They're different for me too. Because at some point I came in at a different place from these two, and they were already together. So I don't know exactly where they came from, but if we can make it back to one of these areas that we came in, our chances of getting out are much better than us having to completely all split up again and try to find our way back to exactly where we came in.
Here, maybe, I don't know if this will help. And I'm going to carve BH in the wall. Say, look, Brett, I think we know where we're going. The three of us know where we're going. If it turns out we're wrong, we come back to this spot, you lead us out your way.
Then yeah, I mean, we push on. I think we're just gonna have to double back.
Okay. The road continues on. It goes back to being mud and dirt after a while. It goes through some ups and downs, some elevation changes. You go back into regular flat tunnels soon after that. You take another left, which is the only direction you can go. And when you take that left, you end up back in a T-junction that's made of brick. And you get just the lightest amount of heart palpitations, Agent Winters, because it looks really familiar. Like you just got done walking 10 minutes, but this looks really, really familiar.
I'm going to scan the walls with my flashlight.
You scan the walls with your flashlight. It's really not the first letter you see, the B, but it's the H that really just drives you up a wall.
We looped back. We looped around. I don't understand how we looped around, but we looped around. I take a close look at that. It's my handwriting.
Well, I mean, as best you can suspect, yes, it does look like the mark that you left. In your mind, Hawking, this is sort of, well, the I told you so moment. And while Sandra has quieted just a little bit, because honestly, kids can only scream for so long before they eventually pass out, this sort of cements it.
I'm okay with this. Hawking, you let us out of the night floors, and if you think you can do that again, I mean, you did it once. I believe in you.
Okay then. Yeah. And I look in Hart and Winters' eyes to see if they feel the same as Weber. I'm not looking for verbal communication. I'm just looking to see if they're deferring.
It's what we agreed on.
I'm so sick of this hoodoo bullshit. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna head them back towards the other intersection, the first intersection. We're gonna go the other direction while I continue to hum some Third Eye Blind.
Okay. You take them the other direction. It goes through a few movements. So out of the brick area, you go back into ruggedized dirt and rock tunnels. The tunnels move in a different direction this time. You take a little bit more right, left, zigzag patterns. You come upon another straight section of tunnel where the dirt gives way to brick and mortar.
Is it a different brick and mortar?
It is a different brick and mortar.
Okay. Because at this point, I'm just chasing whichever tunnel my acoustics sound better in.
You bet. As you would. It's all about how things sound.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. You chase it, and you get back to that tunnel space, and you see that brick and mortar, and then it ends in an archway with darkness beyond it. If you continue your path forward, Hawking?
Yeah, I'm leading them into the darkness.
Okay. You head out, and you find yourself on a very small balcony. And that's where you have to stop because there's an elevation change. And down below that elevation change is an enormous pit of bones.
Holy shit, Hawking. You didn't mention a giant... Is this where you came from? You came in on this giant pit? Holy shit.
So we went down a balcony. Are we back in the original bone pit?
It's possible. It's pretty big. And you would remember specifically, Hawking, that the bone pit is big enough that you can't see all sides of it.
No, you can't. It's like a desert of bones. An underground cavern, like the big room and at Carlsbad. Except for down there, they've got little telephones and lighting. Here we don't. We have our own lighting. And this was after we went the other direction on the Y junction.
That's correct. Yeah, the T junction. This is the other direction.
I'm gonna click my tongue and whistle in an effort to try to just get some sort of sense of how cavernous this space is. It's something that I've done before. Like, this is something that you can do in big, empty, quiet spaces underground. You don't have to be a superhero.
You click and whistle, and it echoes for a while. And on the tail end of that echo in your left ear, you hear, "I told you. She's not going to let you out."
What do we have to do to get the creatures get out? The creatures get out. What do we have to do? What do we have to do to get out?
I'm just muttering that under my breath while rubbing my eyes.
What's everybody else doing?
Just staring at Hawking, a little concerned.
I'm looking at the bone pit, trying to pick out where we cleared that little bit and made an arrow, or where the little hole was where we grabbed it. I'm just trying to see if this is the same place.
At the far end of your flashlight, what you do see, Elliot, is what looks like a series of objects that sort of sit on the horizon. They're not bones, they're objects. Rectangular, square in nature. Like there's something out there in the pit.
Y'all see that? Like little tombstones or something. Your eyes better than mine? You see what that might be?
Do they become clearer if I also shine my flashlight on them?
They don't become clearer. It's not a lack of light, it's distance.
Okay. I'm gonna hand my kid Winters, a little more mobile and in better shape. So I'm gonna walk towards anyway what these things are in the horizon.
Okay. You walk down the edge of this almost balcony area. You can get down the mud and the rocks to the pit level. You walk forward and you see on those shapes begin to take a little bit more solid form. They look like little pieces of furniture. So a dresser, a desk, an armoire, a few maybe bookshelves. The closer you get, now you're walking probably a good 50 or 60 feet, give or take. So for the rest of our agents, Hart will begin to get at the edges of your flashlights soon.
I don't like that. When Hart went down to the floor, was it difficult?
I mean, probably not terribly difficult. It took her a few minutes, well, a little bit to pick her way down. The drop is maybe 5 feet.
I'm evaluating whether it's going to be the end of me to climb down to the floor and get a little bit closer to her.
Probably not, but you already have, before any of this started, you already have an issue with your knee. So you want to bear that in mind.
Weber, you don't get that taken care of quick, you're gonna be looking like me in a year or two. Knee wise, not overall.
No, I know. I don't think there's any medical facilities down here.
Oh no, I don't think there is.
That's why I've been hoping we can get the fuck out of here.
I know. I had the same. You know what? That was one of them. What do they call them? My last time I had to do a meeting with the in-house. They called it an intrusive thought. That was one of them intrusive thoughts that I probably didn't need to share with you. I'm sorry, Weber. I was just thinking about climbing down and following Hart because every time Hart goes off by themselves, it's sort of a weird situation. I just realized I can't ask you for help because you are also hobbled.
Mm-hmm.
And is Hawken? He's singing Third Eye Blind. Is that what he's been humming to himself?
Yeah, things are going great. Super.
We're doing good. Hawking, Hart's taken off. I think we probably need to follow her, and you're about it for helping us down.
Yeah, I thought I had, I know what way not to go.
Now, to be clear, you say is this way that we went is the way not to go? Because, this is all new.
No, with the bricks, the way we were going before.
We need to make a decision, son. It's either call Hart back and try this other, or go over with her. I don't like us separated like that, especially with Hart. She's liable to disappear. She'll probably disappear back into the real world, and we'll never see her again. It would be my guess.
No, you're right. And Hawking is just out of it at this point. Between the voices in their head and the unexplainable sense of direction that seems to
appear and then peter out, they've lost any sense of confidence in their own direction.
Good to know. Hart, you get further enough forward where you see that there's a collection of this rotten furniture. And it seems to be laid out in a way to almost form a small little wall. The area around it doesn't have many bones either. It almost seems to be a little calm inside this boneyard. And then not far from these pieces, you see a pipe organ.
Oh, I don't like that. No, I'm not messing with something weird and extra creepy like a pipe organ in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna head back up towards my people.
Okay. You head back up towards your people, but not before witnessing that near this pipe organ, there is a large chair that's been built up. And it glistens in your flashlight. It's made of something metallic. It's shiny, golden.
Okay, so I'll take note of the giant shiny metal chair as I make my way back up to my people.
Sure, absolutely. You make your way back. You see agents, you see Hart hustling back towards you.
Oh, thank you. Hart, what did you find?
Well, there's an organ down there.
Music or otherwise?
Music. Pipe organ. And there's a giant gold chair. And there's a suspicious lack of bones down there with some rotten furniture. And I kind of don't like the way that it looked. And I didn't really want to venture too much further because we have 2 of the 3 kids, and I don't really want to keep too much distance if I can help it. I just wanted to see if maybe the other kid was over there nearby and asleep. Maybe.
Good. When you say giant, giant chair, how big was this chair, Hart?
I don't know. How big was this chair, Handler?
It was fairly large. So given what you remember seeing back there, it's had to have been maybe 8 feet tall.
Is this the bone throne that I saw before?
Well, you wouldn't know. You didn't go with Agent Hart. As she gets into the description, you can see, you feel yourself nodding along. Like, yeah. I've seen this thing.
Well, it was big, about 8 feet, probably 10 feet, maybe. I'm not exactly sure how tall, but it was big. Winters, it was big.
So that's something we haven't seen. 'Cause obviously these raccoons isn't going to sit in that unless there's a 8 foot tall human-faced raccoon that... God, I hate this place. Wait, is Sandra like quiet now? Is she maybe asleep or she's still...
She's passed out at this point.
Brett, what was that kid talking about? She wanted to go see the kitty and...
Yeah, like they knew there was a cat. Like they knew there was an animal, like whatever it was calling a kitty. Do you know where the kitty is? I'm gonna talk to the kid. I don't know why I haven't thought of talking to the kid.
Okay. So you rouse Sandra awake a little bit and she sort of comes to. This is the benefit of when previous roles will help us out. She seems a little calmer. And Sandra looks up. She has these big blue eyes that sort of sparkle in the flashlights down here. And she says, yeah, kitty. And looks around.
How big is that kitty? Is it big? It's big.
It's big.
Is it a good kitty?
The cats are magic cats.
Magic cat.
They can do anything.
Thundercats ho.
All right, so something's been keeping her fed and alive. We know these raccoons ain't nothing but mischief and worse, but maybe the cats balance it out.
Cats like the raccoons?
She looks at you. She tilts her head when you say raccoons.
Oh, the little goblin things.
I have a raccoon. We could show her one.
Can we not show her the dead corpse? Can we not expose the child?
She looks over towards where Agent Hart came from, and she points. And she says, "That's where the kitties are. Kitties are magic.
What color are the kitties?
The kitties are black."
All right, so we either move forward with this nonsense or we go back with the other nonsense. What's our choice? Hawking, do you think you can get us back out? You had a different revelation of where to go, where not to go? Because if you don't think you can, I think we have to go forward.
I'm gonna lift the kid up and be like, "Do you know the way out?"
The kid nods.
Okay. Do you want to show us the way out? You want to point? How do we get back to the real world?
Sandra points towards the furniture.
The furniture. Okay.
Where Hart came from.
We gotta go to the creepy chair.
Son of a bitch. You know, it's like they say. Sometimes the only way forward is through.
I guess I'll start leading the way back to the chair and the big scary pipe organ that I don't like.
Is the chair made of bone?
No. So upon arrival, everyone sees a collection of furniture that's been lined up. You see a space which is mostly bereft of bones, like there's actual rock here to walk on. The furniture is all decrepit, right? So it looks like it's been down here a real long time. Across from the furniture, there is a pipe organ. Adorning the pipe organ in the front, now that you're seeing it from the front rather than the back before Agent Hawking, you see that there is a etched human skull in the middle of the pipe organ. And then adjacent to the organ is this enormous chair, this throne, which when you put your flashlights on it, glistens back at you because it is made of something metallic. That metallic color is gold.
See? Giant pipe organ. Giant chair.
Sandra says to you, Agent Hawking, "If you play music, the kitty comes."
No. Nope.
Sandra, who plays the music?
Anybody. The kitties can play the music too. They're magic.
I'm gonna go sit down at the organ.
Okay.
And I'm gonna play chopsticks because I'm a bass player. I don't know how to play piano.
Okay. It takes you a second to work it the right way. Pipe organs have movements on both the keys and the feet, and there are things that you have to do. So you have music, don't you, Brett?
I do. I have like 20% in sick licks. So on the bass guitar, if you'd like me to roll.
No, not at all, because the bass guitar, as many people know, is very similar to a piano in some respects as far as the notes go.
I mean, I know basic music theory.
So you start playing chopsticks. It doesn't go so well at first until you get the rhythm of it. And then the pipe organ really starts to make sound, and it fills the boneyard. And that's when the room shakes a little. And for now, we'll leave our agents there. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Adventures with O-Cells. The operation in current is From the Dust, and I look forward to seeing what happens next time.